Utah real estate investing has been one of the most lucrative investments that anybody could have made in the last 2 years. And so, what I want to go through today is talk about a couple of news articles explaining what that actual boom looks like, jumping on into what are some of the solutions they're trying to go with an affordable housing, and then what are the actual stats that Utah's been seeing. So, my name is Peyton Allen Clancy, Fairbanks Cornerstone Real Estate, and welcome to my show. First article I want to talk about is this Utah city has the highest rental rates in the nation by Vivian Chow. Specifically saying that median rent increase from 2019 to 2022 in Salt Lake City was 24.6%. Or if your rent was $1,000 in 2019, it was $1,250 in 2022. And then also in Utah, it was 22.2%. So if your rent in 2019 was $1,000 in 2022, it was $1,200. Why this is important is this is the largest rent increase Utah's ever seen in such a short period of time. And then as well on top of that, 70% of this growth came from 2009. People pretty much who are high earners or have started been pricing out of the market. So if you can't afford a house, you're going to get a nicer luxury apartment, which talks about specifically too, developers typically cater more to the needs of luxury apartments. Why is this? More money from luxury apartments. You make more money off them. It's just a fact of life. What I want you to notice is that rentals for investors in Utah have been incredibly profitable over the last 2 years. Maybe with some of the most profitable in the nation or just in general investment. So this kind of makes us jump into the second part of this, which is Airbnbs and VRBOs and how they're affecting our market. Governor Spencer Cox points to two problems in Utah's housing crisis: Airbnb and VRBO. The biggest statistic out there would be there are nearly 20,000 short-term rentals currently in Utah. That's a lot. That's a lot of short-term rentals. What this is doing, why this is affecting people, is that it's making it harder for people to get into their first-time home. They're into their residential homes, and it's driving up prices in places that are recreational areas. And so let's say you're a teacher in Park City, all of a sudden you've got to drive 100 miles away because all of your smaller units, all of your smaller homes are being used as VRBOs and Airbnbs, driving up that price and making it so that it's unaffordable for other people. Now, what they could do is the government could put their fingers in there and say, yo, dog, you can't do this. We're not going to make it so that you can Airbnb or VRBO these houses in these specific areas. But the reason that Utah is trying to combat this is they don't want to have to put their finger down. They don't want to have to go in there and meddle around with the market. And so that's what they're trying to make a solution to, is how do you make it so that there is more affordable housing without there necessarily having to change policies and put your hands right into the middle of the market. Which brings us into this last article, which is kind of interesting. Utah nonprofit eyes winners of affordable housing competition for possible local multifamily projects. And what this is specifically talking about is they had a competition. There was a couple of $100,000 rewards or $80,000 rewards where people are trying to figure out ways where there is more affordable housing in Utah, whether this is the manufactured mobile homes that they're putting on foundations, whether this is figuring out seller financing, because a lot of people are getting into these rent-to-own situations, but they're not necessarily getting solved. And so that's what you can tell people are trying to figure out ways to make it so there's more housing in Utah that is affordable and more possible for the average person to get into, middle to low income earners. So they are trying to combat it. They are trying to combat this extreme rent increase. They are trying to combat the fact that all these Airbnbs and VRBOs are kind of driving the prices of homes and recreational areas up. And so this kind of, after I've talked about all that, I want to jump into one last little piece, which is the actual statistics of kind of some of the things that we're seeing. This last little piece that I kind of want to bring up was that in 2018, there were 765 multi-unit sales in Utah. In 2021, there was 975. Specifically talking about, the median price in 2018 was $335,000, where the median price in 2022 is $650,000. The problem that I want to bring up here that you really need to understand is that multi-units have doubled in cost, but rent increases have only went up by about 24%. So this would make something kind of less opportunistic than it used to be. Especially if you're going to be choosing to invest in Utah, you really need to understand that there's so much competition here that there is less possibility to make a lot of money like we were saying before. And the opportunity that the coronavirus provided is probably nothing that you're ever going to see again. With the governor cracking down on trying to make more affordable housing, with rents already going up so quickly, and with the prices of rentals being so high, you're going to see that Utah is not as quite as good as of an investment opportunity as it used to be. So be aware of that, understand that going into that in the future. That's all I got for you today. I just really wanted to bring up those couple of points. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please like and subscribe to this channel. I hope you're having a great day, and see you next time.
Once upon a time, there was a dumb millennial. All he wanted to do was learn some stuff so he could grow. But we all know that it just ain't so. 'Cause he's dumb because he's a millennial, yeah, yeah. Dumb millennial, oh yeah, he's a dumb millennial, yeah.